So first, when you enter the screen, you'll get this
Whether you are a
message.
freelancer, remote worker, or entrepreneur, we support you. Welcome to Home Offices, a journey into our domestic labor spaces. I'm Seneth, your guide. Move your avatar through the space to discover more details, and reach out to me in the chat if you have any questions.
Okay. So I think if it's your first time going to the site, you'll choose an avatar from a set of emojis of which you would like to be moving around the space. So as you can see, I am this like red demon thing. Jenna is a mushroom. So I dropped the link in the chat. So if you wouldn't mind going to that link, creating your avatar, and then we'll move through the space together.
If you want to kill the volume on your computer, Dave, if it makes it easier, yeah.
Yeah, yes. No, sure. Good call. Oh, that one still made sound. All right, I see Kevin is here with us. So yeah, so on this home page, you can see like as you move around, the image changes like as your character reaches different points in an image. Let's see. Okay, Isabel's here, I see. Janae as well. Okay, and then so we can all travel like through the spaces together. There's a little arrow at the bottom of your screen, and that will move to the next page. Also, if you get stuck, you could hit Q or W on your keyboard to catch up. Okay, so now we're in gallery 2, which is these office chairs. Occasionally you'll see these like pop-up ads come up. They are all based on sort of like either Euro, like German or Italian ads, mostly from the 80s and 90s, which match the aesthetic of these rooms. This is one of like the first ones I made. So it's sort of using like basic imagery from other like classic still lives, like fruit, food, and wine placed on these office chairs. Maybe we'll move to room 3. Okay, I see you all catching up. Can everybody like see each other's avatars moving around?
Yes.
Cool. So as you move through the image, you're basically like, well, first let me ask this. Have you guys worked with generative Photoshop in this class this semester? Much? No.
No, we've not.
Okay. So well, in Photoshop now, as like an option, you can generate images using AI in parts of the screen. So what I was doing, I was taking like these pictures of offices, the interior of offices, and populating them with AI, like spirits or objects or memories or something. And as you do that, like I started creating like many like tangents and like different versions of images, so that like if you've worked with Photoshop, you know, like the layers can get pretty thick or deep, like on the in the layers panel. So underneath like each one of these images I was completing was probably like hundreds of like different versions or like permutations of each image. So like when Jenna and I first started collaborating, we're thinking of a way like how could we like reveal what had been created before, which wasn't being shown. So as your character is moving around, it's sort of like scraping away from the top version and going like deeper into these other versions. We'll move on to gallery 4. So in gallery 4, in my head, I called this one like 3 friends. There's 3 characters sitting in a room chatting. And Jenna introduced this dialogue that they're having with each other that's being generated by a primitive AI. So they're sort of like having a conversation with each other, which doesn't make sense maybe to us as humans, but to them it makes a lot of sense, I think. So sunshine whispered through the windows yesterday, and the other character says that their birds are painting on the dawn sky. And the other like mute character says, time will skip. I don't know, and I changed. Our morning coffee speaks softly to us. So it's a very like vibey conversation they're having. Okay, we'll move to the next room. So now I'm in room 5. This one is maybe like the most like elemental room. We've got lightning, we've got music, we've got fire, we've got snakes, Christmas tree. All these pop-up windows, they can be moved around manually if you grab it by its bar at the top. You can also close them by hitting the little circle on the top left. And like in this way, you can create pretty interesting, unique compositions. Probably that have never been seen before on planet Earth. So in a way, it has a little bit of like a drawing tool or like an art making tool aspect to it. I've been finding myself taking a lot of like screenshots when I find a composition that I think is like really interesting. So I have like a little folder on my desktop. I've just been collecting all these really interesting compositions. Maybe we'll go to 6 or what? Yeah, okay. 6. This is another very like relaxing one. Sort of like a figure and his pet, like a mutant dog, maybe, having coffee and caviar at breakfast on a sunny Sunday morning. You can open the Venetian blinds and let more light in if you'd like. It's a cozy one.
This is my favorite.
Number 6. And then when you're ready, we can go to number 7. Or what about it is your favorite?
I think it's the loungy thing going on, and the background sound. Like it sounds like a radio or something.
Yeah, maybe like like AI NPR.
Yeah, like I don't know what it's saying, so I'm sitting there munching on a strawberry and a weird piece of cheese, and I'm being tempted by a whatever that was, something popping up, and yeah, I don't know.
Cool.
But that background thing really kind of adds another like informational thing, but then it's illegible. I don't know. It kind of
the sound, you mean?
Yeah, it works with the imagery, I think.
So all the sound is generated by AI based on, I think what I did is describe what's happening in the image to text to audio AI model. So in that one, I was describing what's going on, and then it gave me that output. So every room is sort of like the music is complementing the image, or it's pulled from the image in a way. So I'm in room 7 now. This one is also a nice, fun one. I think like this sort of like fruit motif or something. It reminds me a lot of these images from like my friend's kitchen when we were kids that were like they were like photographs that people would make like an elephant out of produce and photograph it. But the produce would always look like imperfect. Like it almost looked like it was like going bad a little bit or something. 'Cause it was kind of before Photoshop and before like this really like pristine aesthetic that we would be used to. Like it almost looks like took so long to put it together that the fruit was starting to like shrivel. And anyway, I'm reminded by that sort of nostalgic memory when I'm putting together some of these like very like fruit based compositions.
The pop-ups are wonderful. That one
Oh,
that
cool.
just came
Thanks.
up with those, I don't know what they were doing, but
Yeah, so I think there's like 14 different little pop-up commercials, as well as like all these different assets that were, some of them are from Jenna's like original version of public access memories, and some of them are like created uniquely for certain rooms. Okay, so I'm in room 8, which is too scary. We shouldn't even look at that. We can move on to room 9, which is like thematically about like balancing your calendar, filling things in, maybe like planning your next few months. Up in the top left, there's like a special July Easter egg that when you click on it, it creates a Google Meet link for the closing. So if you want to come to the closing event, just save this on your little Google Calendar. And
Let's
we
take a
move.
moment to reflect. Have you ever considered?
If we all meet at the guest book page, which is after gallery 9, so just like move ahead a few pages. I see Isabel and Janae are here. If you double click on the thing that says edit guest book, it opens a Google Doc, which you can add to, just like write anything you'd like in there. Some people have been like writing poems or enigmatic statements. But yeah, we'd appreciate it if you leave some of your thoughts in the guest book. So you can see it opens up in its own Google Doc, and then you're kind of just presented with a little sample of it in the gallery. And after that, there's, I think, 7 more galleries that can be explored. And then you end up
Welcome to the gift shop. From
in a gift shop where you're greeted by our host again. That sort of links to these very physical analog posters that were produced in New Orleans at Paper Machine from Antenna, and that's like somehow connecting again to our very real world. But they're pretty cool Some of them are I think all the images, like they're not featured in the virtual show, so they're all like different different examples of like the same series of work printed on this like chipboard paper with like white toner and foil imprints on it. So it's like sort of like, for me, sort of like advanced like printing techniques, which are pretty cool. And I think so that's like 10:45. Maybe should we do questions, Kevin, or?
Yeah, I think I kind of like just playing with this. We can always come back. Let me turn my sound down real quick. You know, I'd open the floor. Anyone have any questions for Dave or Jenna about this project or anything that was shown today? Oh, can you hear me? Yeah. Any questions, anyone? Well, come on, you got to have a question.
How long did it take you guys to do this?
Well, for me, I've been working on these things, like these images, for a year or so. Like it's been a project. Jenna and I started collaborating on it like 3 months ago. Does that sound right?
I was wondering, I was going to ask you. I think like a large part of the infrastructure of this project, I guess I did it during my MFA, so that was like at least a year and a half of building the foundation. And I think once all the like tech is there, working with Dave, it's less about building out the app and more about just like composing where imagery and stuff should go. So
And I think as you all become more like mature in your practices and stuff, like you'll find that like things that you make that are successful or that you continue to like, you'll keep like revisiting them and iterating on them over and over again. And in that way, like there's sort of like this lineage that, I don't know, you could go back a decade to find like how long, you know, like the question, how long have we been working on this? Like some of these ideas for images I've been working on for like a decade or something. So it's sort of like that's what, you know, building a career kind of turns into, I think.
Oh, I thought somebody was asking a question. It's just the thing. Oh, sorry. I'm curious, Dave. A lot of your previous work, except for a few things, is more in the tangible world, right? With installations and stuff like this. And now you've gone into this virtual space and explored that, and it seems kind of a natural way to go through it. I'm curious about that relationship, moving from more tangible to more virtual. And then even as we look at the screen right now, you've gone back to the tangible with the poster and things like that. I'm just curious what your thoughts are.
I guess like I've always felt like there should be some relationship like to both, like something like 1 foot in the digital and 1 foot in the analog or our world. And that's why I really like installations. It's like a way to like take this media that's been created fully online or like fully on your computer, but then bringing it to like a common space, like a museum or a gallery or something where it can be experienced like together or collectively. It can be like touched and felt, or like the smell of the gallery will like create a new memory that you can attach to it. And I feel like that's like really important and powerful, rather than just having like an online or just a digital experience. And then so like with this project, for whatever reason, I felt like, or I think Jenna's idea with having the gallery is like taking things about a physical gallery that are good or should be preserved, and bringing that to like a digital space, bringing that to like a browser-based experience. So like having like an opening reception, like having everyone be experiencing the website together, like we're doing today in this class. It has like it brings like new meaning and a richer experience rather than just like going to a website alone. And again, so like I wanted to make these posters that are very like sort of like crafty and like, I don't know, traditional media expression as a part of this like purely digital experience, to sort of like bring it into your own home office or your own living room. I don't know.
Did you reach out to Paper Machine to do that? Or?
Yeah, I commissioned them to make it. They have like a lot of really cool, interesting machines and
Right.
techniques that they can do. And I'd like been wanting to work with them for years. And I thought this was like a good opportunity to reach out. But it was definitely, it was cool. It was sort of like we went back and forth like, I don't know, like 15 times in emails. Like they were trying some stuff and some things didn't work, and then we kind of landed on this manifestation. But that was kind of a fun collaboration as well.
Yeah. Any other questions, answers? I know you're lost in the pages of home offices. I like the kind of, I mean, it reminds me of like Better Homes and Garden magazine or something like that. I don't know, like typeface, like something my grandmother would have, like Southern Living, right? Would have on her coffee table for, you know, a proper. Yeah.
I can show you. This is like the original. It's blurred out. The original book that I based it on.
Oh, okay.
Sort of like a coffee table book from 1984. You can maybe recognize that image. The way it's blurring, it's kind of like the website.
But I think,
yeah,
you know, if anybody wants to purchase a poster, obviously the gift shop will allow that. And any other questions, anyone?